Good morning, class 9th students. Today in chemistry we are continuing with the last concluding part of the periodic table. And in the periodic table we see that in video 5, the last video, we had studied about characteristics of elements and trends they show while going down a group from group 1 to group 18. Today we shall see the general trends of the periodic table, not down a group but across the periods, for the 7 periods that we see in the periodic table. You see that in the periodic table, children, there are 7 periods: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So how the properties they run across in the modern periodic table across the periods? Like we see that on moving from left to right in a given period, number of shells they remain the same. For example, if we are looking at the 3rd period, you see this one. In sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and argon, in all these elements the number of shells would be 3, and so this is period 3. The number of shells they remain the same, that is they are equal to the number of period. In sodium we see that the electronic configuration is 281, atomic number is 11. Magnesium it is 12, the electronic configuration is 282. Aluminium it is 13 atomic number, that means the number of protons or the number of electrons in the atom of aluminium, with electronic configuration 283. In silicon we have atomic number 14 and electronic configuration 284. In phosphorus we have 15 as atomic number and the electronic configuration 285. Likewise in sulfur 16, electronic configuration 286. In chlorine it is 17 atomic number and electronic configuration 287, distributed in K, L and M shells. In argon it's 18 atomic number, and here we see the octet or the last shell is complete with 8 number of electrons, and the electronic configuration is 288 in the respective shells K, L and M. Then we see the number of electrons in the valence shell in a given period. Say in period number 3, number of electrons in valence shell increases from left to right. We will see here, as we saw in the periodic table here, in this particular period, we see how in sodium we had valence electrons 1, because in the KLM shell we have 1 electron. And in magnesium valence shell we have 2 electrons. In aluminium valence shell M we have got 3 electrons. Likewise in silicon it increases to 4. Then we see in phosphorus it increases to 5 in the valence shell. The valence electrons are 5. Then in sulfur, children, the number is 6. In chlorine it is raised up to 7 in the valence shell. The number of valence electrons are 7. But in argon we see octet is complete. There is complete 8 number of electrons in the outermost shell. Then we see another property, like we saw that the property of valence electrons increases from left to right. As we went from sodium to argon, we saw that the electrons, valence electrons, they increased. Now we will see the valency of elements with respect to hydrogen increases arithmetically from 1 to 4 and back to 1. If you will see here, we see that lithium in period number 2 combines with hydrogen, makes lithium hydride, and here we see that the valency of lithium is 1. In beryllium it makes beryllium hydride, valency is 2. In boron we see it is boron hydride, valency is 3. In carbon we see carbon tetra or methane we see carbon tetrahydride, it is 4. The valency is 4. In nitrogen, we see the valency is -3. Why -3? Because nitrogen has got 5 electrons in its outermost shell, and so it can easily take 3 more electrons to complete its shell, like the nearest inert gas, neon. So it has got the valency -3. In oxygen, valency is -2. With water, we see molecule of water, and with molecule of hydrogen fluoride, we see the valency is -1, because the outermost shell of hydrogen contains 7 electrons, requires only 1. So the valency is -1. So we see how valency increases 1 to 4, and then it decreases from 3, -3 becomes -2, and then -1. Also, we see the valency of elements with respect to oxygen increases 1 to 7. For example, we see oxides of elements. Sodium oxide valency is 1. Then in magnesium oxide valency is 2. Aluminum oxide valency is 3. In silicon oxide valency 4. In phosphorus valency is 5. In sulfur valency is 6. Sulfur oxide. Then we see here chlorine oxide valency is 7, and we see that last one is inert gas argon, which does not combine with any element. So we see how the valency with oxygen increases from 1 to 7. Let us also look at the size of atoms. The size of atom decreases while moving from left to right in the period. It decreases. For example, it increases in the number of protons, increases. Therefore, the nuclear pull on the outermost shell is so much that the size of the atom slowly decreases. Let us see one by one. In lithium, you see that the size is the greatest because the number of protons is less in lithium. Beryllium, number of protons is more, and so the size, there is a harder nuclear pull on the outside electrons, so the size decreases. Then we see in boron, size further decreases. Then we come to carbon, size becomes smaller. Nitrogen, again, size becomes even smaller. Oxygen, it becomes very, very small. And fluorine, we see that the size is smallest. So we see the size of atoms decreases while we go from left to right in a period. Likewise, we see in period 3, sodium has got largest size, reduces in magnesium, further reduces in aluminium, further reduces in silicon, further in phosphorus, further in sulfur, finally in chlorine it reduces more. Then let us see the properties of elements. The properties of elements depend upon the number of electrons in its outermost orbit. Since the changes and properties of elements in a period differ significantly, the reactivity first decreases up to group 14 and then increases. If you look at the periodic table, then the property reactivity first will decrease from lithium as we move, or from potassium as we move on to zinc. Here we see that the reactivity decreases, and then from 14 onwards the reactivity increases. Thus the group 1 elements, you see here group 1 elements, these are most reactive metal elements, while those in group 17, you see here the halogen group, children, these are one of the most reactive non-metals. So left hand side we have the metals which are more reactive, and on the right hand side we have the non-metals which are more reactive. Likewise, we see the metallic character. On moving from left to right in a given period, the metallic character gradually decreases. That means it changes from metallic to non-metallic. The last element of each period is inert. The elements of the second period we see, in second period lithium is a metal, beryllium also a metal, but boron is a metalloid having properties of both a metal and a non-metal. And then from carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon, it is all non-metals. So we see the metallic character is high here, then this metallic character slowly decreases as we go from left to right. Then we see the oxides of elements. The oxides of the third period. If we look at the third period, oxides of elements in particular periods become progressively less basic and finally change to an acidic character. Like we see sodium oxide, basic, magnesium oxide, basic, aluminium oxide, still basic character. Then slowly the character starts moving towards the acidic side, like silicon oxide, then phosphorus pentoxide, sulfur trioxide and chlorine oxide. Finally, it changes from basic oxide character to acidic oxide character from left to right in period. Then we see the uses of the periodic table. What is the periodic table used for? It is used for predicting the existence of new elements. Every time new elements are discovered, so they are placed in fresh places in the periodic table. Then we see periodic table is used for correcting the properties of elements. So many properties were not correctly noted by the previous chemists, but now they have been corrected and we know the correct properties of elements. Then we see study of elements and compounds is made more easier and more orderly in the periodic table, because we use atomic number as the basis of the progressive classification and distribution of elements into groups and periods. Then we see that position of elements in the periodic table shows one after the other what is the exact position of element. Then we see atomic number is one of the things according to the position of each element. Then we see according to the position of each element, the electronic configuration changes. Then the number of valence electrons keeps on changing according to the position of element. Then according to the position of element, the fourth character which we see is properties of elements also changes. Then we see fifth thing, the nature of chemical bonds keep on changing with the position of elements. And the last thing is position of elements shows the valency. We see all the positions of the elements also shows the valency of those elements where they are placed in each group of the periodic table according to periods. So children, this finishes the study of the chapter periodic table. And so children, I will send you the last assignment for this. All the best. Have a good day. Thank you.